I've had some incredible experiences. One time I was working on Vancouver Island, and I saw a cougar bring down a deer right 30 feet in front of me. I mean, that was just an incredible sight, something you could never plan on. It's a once in a lifetime. And then you get all the weather, the wind, the rain, the snow, and the sleet, but you survive and you get used to it. You have to really enjoy it.
A love of the outdoors and a sense of adventure have taken Mark Rebagliati from the small town of Lytton, British Columbia, where he was born, to a world of exploration and discovery.
Step out of the tent in the morning, a great big avalanche had come down. It was only about 50 feet away. Came right down the valley, across this big creek, small river, and part way up the other side. And there were trees, a foot and a half in diameter, big 30, 40 foot chunks just broken up like they're kindling. Anyway, survived another one.
Well, I would say he's certainly a rare breed, if you will, in that he has a lot of tenacity for what he wants to do. He has goals. He knows how to get at them. He knows how to put together and work with a team. And he's very good at sharing the, quote, rewards, if you will, of discovering.
Well, I think the fact that he has discovered so many projects and so many of them have become mines, that is extremely important, to the people of Canada.
It all started following a prospecting course at the British Columbia and Yukon Chamber of Mines.
And I just knocked on doors. I went around and around. And in due course, somebody offered me a job. And off I went. So that was in 1964, and I had my first helicopter ride. Took my first soil sample, cut the first, we're miles of lines then, but now they're kilometers of lines.
Mark continued his education at the Haileybury School of Mines and graduated with a degree in geological engineering from Michigan Tech.
And you see that there is a considerable amount of potassium alteration. You see the darker yellow. You can see again they're in along fractures and veinlets.
He's become what I would call a real expert in a couple of types of deposit targets, those being what we call a porphyry copper or large open pit copper, molybdenum, gold mines, and the other being volcanogenic massive sulfide deposits.
Most geologists would be happy with one major find in their career. Mark has been on the team or leading the team for many discoveries.
I think every discovery is different. And I think they all make you feel good. It's kind of like, which child is your favorite sort of thing.
Mark's career has spanned more than 40 years. In the late 80s, he began a long and successful association with Hunter Dickinson.
You have to be able to make decisions based on your observations. And generally you don't have enough time, but you have to be able to make the decisions and live with the consequences.
One of Mark's decisions was to work a different angle when a board member drew the line on drilling at the Pebble deposit.
One of the directors stood up and walked over the board, and he took a pencil or a crayon and he drew a line just past the 4 billion tons on the map and said, "No drilling past that point."
So, not to go against the directive, I had 6 drills, so when one came free, I set it up about 10 meters inside the pit and I angled it at 60-degree angle outside.
Here you can see the arrows increasing, ooga, ooga, and out here is 1.5 billion tons of 1.3% copper equivalent. This deposit now is 10.8 billion tons. It hosts 107 million ounces of gold, which is 2% of the gold ever mined in the world, and it hosts 82 billion pounds of copper, and it's all because of this drill hole that came out here at about 45 degrees and went in to Pebble East.
Mark's adventures continued in Tibet with Z. Tongman.
Tibet at that time really wasn't equipped for North American or European tourists. Like, I just about froze to death where it felt like it anyway, in the hotel, because the hotel was about 1 or 2 degrees, just about freezing. And of course the mattress and the blankets, everything are cold, and I put all my clothes on and my padded jacket, my toque. Couldn't wait for morning.
Mark has published or co-published at least 10 major studies for various industry publications and been a member of many industry organizations.
He loves the mining industry, the economic geology aspects of the industry. He's been highly awarded. He's probably the most awarded exploration economic geologist in Canada.
I think from a standpoint of Canadian geological knowledge, Mark has contributed substantially to our industry, the profession.
It takes a certain personality, if you can't stand the uncertainty. You have to look in the mirror and decide whether you want that type of life. It's challenging.